Fox College football.
Supposed to clap?
Thanks for the clap.
I mean, yeah. Well, listen, it's a smattering of applause.
Is that how it goes, Johnny, huh?
Appreciate it very much. It's a live studio audience.
It is a live studio audience. Brady Quinn, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and, of course, you have kind of the incomparable, the Fox Noon kickoff, of course. You have your incomparable leader. Reggie, let me just ask you, okay? Alex Smith was your high school teammate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you watched them play in college, did you think they could beat anybody?
I thought they were special, yes. And I was also very surprised that he was using Alex Smith in the RPO system, because when Alex was in high school with us, he was the slowest person on our team.
Wing T.
Wait, you guys ran the wing T?
We ran a wing T. And Alex was the slowest person on our team. And so when I saw him at Utah outrunning people, I couldn't believe it was the same guy. But when Coach was there, I was 100% thought that they were really, really good.
You just didn't realize how fast you were and the rest of the team, right?
I mean, Brady, can you believe that he turned down Notre Dame because they didn't have good enough players?
I told him, I gave him a call. I tried to recruit him. I found a way of getting his number. I think I called him once, maybe twice. I gave him my best pitch.
Did he say, who dis, new phone?
Terrible. No. Apparently I'm not a good recruiter. I'm not getting into coaching. But no, he just said, look, this is a bigger decision for me and my family. And I kind of left it at that, but he appreciated the call.
Stoner, you've done a lot of things, obviously, for this company. Today, by the way, is Founders Day. I don't know how people nationally know that's the anniversary of the day that Fox Sports was launched. I think 26 years ago. I'm gonna go with 26 years ago. It sounds a lot better. You've done World Cup, you've done everything, but this is a massive show with massive egos. These guys, I mean,
no egos. There's no egos.
Huge.
No.
I mean, Leinart especially.
No.
Right?
SC Notre Dame.
Orange County boys.
You got Notre Dame and USC, and 1.5 Heismans here, right? I mean, that's what you got.
Coaching royalty.
You got coaching royalty.
Look, Urban knows this game better than me. Like, if you got talent, right, and you had talent in Gainesville,
your talent.
Use your talent. So I got talent. So we're scripting some plays, and then just, here's the ball. Go get them, boys.
Leinart, percentage of time that you guys are recruiting Urban to go back and coach at USC during the show?
Zero.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This is our new team, man. This is right here, huh? Coach?
Okay, let me ask, because you and Reggie obviously are, and Coach can answer this. The challenges to Clemson, right? They lose 7 defensive starters, but they have Trevor Lawrence. But especially for Trevor to come back a second time and have to prove himself. You know, last year he didn't start the year, kind of with, they didn't sneak up on folks, but they did get to sneak up on folks. How much more difficult is it the second time around?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a year like he did, true freshman, win a national championship, and the way he did it, you're a little bit worried about, all right, now the accolades, now everybody knows who you are, they're gunning for you, but something tells me this kid, he just gets it, he understands it. You know, he's so composed, he's so poised. I mean, I've never seen a freshman quarterback play like that, especially against Alabama in a national championship, and do it against Notre Dame the week before. So he's got a great head on his shoulders. Every interview he does, this kid just understands. And honestly, he's a rare talent. We haven't seen a kid like him in a long time.
It's crazy, Brady, because we sit here just talking about Trevor Lawrence when for probably 9/10 of the season, it was Tua. And then all of a sudden, he has, he's got a bad wheel, doesn't play that well, and it's like we've completely forgotten Tua. What are your expectations from the Bama quarterback?
I'm expecting them to be competing for a national championship. I think there's a lot of people who watch the national championship game. They watched the way it worked out, where Tua clearly didn't play his best game, but the team didn't either, and in particular their offensive line. I think they're going to respond. I think they're going to rebound. I think the biggest issue for them is it's not talent. They've recruited well. They've got all that. It's the transition on the coaching staff. Nick Saban lost a lot of assistants, but it's something he's dealt with before. And so I think because of that experience dealing with it, they should be fine. I expect them to be back in the college football playoff.
Coach, I want to ask you, Oklahoma has lost 2 consecutive #1 overall picks, 2 consecutive Heisman Trophy winners. And they add Jalen Hurts, who, of course, has competed for a national championship. He won the SEC championship game last year. But he's entering a system where, he's not the greatest thrower in the world. What's that like as a challenge for a coach in such short order? He hasn't had him in the system. He hasn't played in the style. He got him in the spring. He's got him in the summer. He's got him in the fall. And now all of a sudden he's supposed to be the next guy at Oklahoma.
Well, Ryan Day's dealing with the same thing with Justin Fields. This is more of a norm now than it was many years ago. I mean, this is a norm. You have Brandon Wimbush. He's going to be starting for someone. I think Lincoln Riley is such a good offensive coach. The staff consistency, the offense consistency. He's very adaptable to different players. My issue at Oklahoma is to be on defense. is the obvious. I think offense will pick up right where they're going. He'll change a little bit because obviously Kyler Murray's a different player than Hurts. However, it's all about defense at Oklahoma. I mean, you can't advance and be 100th in pass defense. You can't. And so they have to get better, and they did. You know, you have to give him credit. He identified a weakness, made wholesale changes, brought in a new defense coordinator. And that's going to be Oklahoma's issue.
Reggie, West Coast football, right? Like, you're a West Coast guy, Lions West Coast guy, I'm West Coast guy, Stoner's the king of Manhattan Beach. Like, this next weekend, not this one, next weekend is Oregon, Auburn, huge. You got arguably the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks in the country against an Auburn team coming off a disappointing. They were only 3-5 in the SEC last year, and they got starting a true freshman, Bo Nix, at quarterback. Does the Pac-12 come back into relevancy, in your opinion, this year?
I think they can with Oregon playing against Auburn, and I think Oregon can beat Auburn. Mario Cristobal is doing a great job at recruiting SEC-type players right in the SEC's backyard. They also have had their highest-rated recruiting class this year ever in the history of Oregon, which says a lot because they've had a lot of talent come through there. They also have experience, and they have great young players like Justin Herbert, who, you know, you got a guy like that you can build around, and they got an offensive line that can protect them.
All right, Brady, let's circle back around to Notre Dame. They have a stud quarterback, right? But how many years do we have to be told, no, really, Notre Dame is among the elite, and then we see them against the elite?
Come on, Doug. They were in the college football playoff last year. I know we want them to go and win.
We want them to be competitive. We want them to be competitive. Now, look, they will tell you, like, look, it was actually competitive at the half, but it was.
Hold on. Was the national championship game competitive?
No.
Okay. Go ask those Clemson players. They've said it on record who the better team was, but who they played last year. They said it was Notre Dame between the two games. I know the scoreboard was kind of similar. I think they're in a good spot. And I think they feel as good about this year's team as ever before because of the camaraderie and really getting to that point last year and playing against Clemson, who ended up winning it. Now they see what the standard is. And until you do it for the first time, you really don't know. And so I think Ian Book, the rest of the leaders on that team, they've got a good idea now of what they need to do moving forward in order to get there. I think the toughest thing they have to battle this year is their schedule. I mean, road games versus Michigan, Georgia, Stanford, 7 teams coming off bye. That's the most in college football this year. I think those are the roadblocks they've got to get there because so many teams are going to have 2 weeks to prepare for them.
Stoner, how many times are you going to ask, is Texas back, right? We got LSU, Texas coming, right?
We have a preview show that airs tomorrow on Fox. That'll be topic number one when we talk about the Big 12.
And we had to talk the Big 12. Okay, that's 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Pacific, big noon kickoff, preview show tomorrow. Let me ask you, Matt Leinart, is Texas back?
We'll see. I think when you look at Texas, you kind of got to just stop talking. You got to go out and do it. And last year, I think the way they ended against Georgia in their bowl game, dominating that team who was supposed to be in the playoff, I think Texas has a shot. I still think Oklahoma is the best team in the Big 12, but I love, we talk about Sam Ehlinger a lot. I love this kid. I think he reminds me a lot of Coach's former guy, Tim Tebow, and the way he plays, the running style. I think he's probably a better thrower, you know, a natural thrower. But this team is close, and Tom Herman's done a great job. I'm excited to see what they can do.
All right, Coach. Now you have to be an analyst. Okay, you have to cut away any of the Ohio State bias. Michigan is going to try and change who they are, right? They're going to try and open it up for Shea Patterson. And part of the, as you pointed out, part of the problem with the quote in the book is it takes away from Shea Patterson the talent that Michigan has, the schedule that seems to suit them, as opposed to last year having to go to Notre Dame early in the year. How difficult is that? Now, he changed when he had Kaepernick. He changed in the NFL. But how difficult do you think that'll be for Jim Harbaugh to run an offense that is not really the offense that he traditionally you'd think would want to run?
Whenever you change systems, see, we changed coordinators at Ohio State, really, because guys would go on to be head coaches, but the system stayed the same. And I would always call it enhance a system. When you change a system, I'm anxious to see if they actually do. If they do, it takes time. However, they have 3 of the best. They have 3 high draft picks at receiver led by Peoples-Jones that people don't know about because they're underutilized. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones is a legit top 10 talent pick in the NFL draft. And I think, you know, you have a young coordinator, 35 years old, never won Gaddis, never called a play. And he's, you know, Jim Harbaugh is a very strong personality. If they truly let this spread offense go, it's going to take a minute. The one thing they have, though, that personnel is ideal. Shea Patterson's a spread quarterback. Those receivers deserve to be able to play in space. I'm anxious to see if they really do it.
Reggie, Georgia came so close, right? So close. But Alabama has that thing that you guys had, right? Where they just believe they're going to win, right? How hard is that to overcome? Because, like, look, personnel-wise, coaching-wise, helmet, logo, nickname, everything. Georgia has everything it takes to be the best team in the SEC, but Alabama has that kind of mental control over them. How hard is that to overcome?
I don't think it's that hard to overcome. I think it's just a matter of finishing games, right? Learning how to finish in the fourth quarter. We still have a saying at USC, you can't win games in the first, second, or third quarter. You got to win them in the fourth quarter, right? And that doesn't matter what the situation is. You always have to know and feel that you can come out on top, right? And it's a mentality. It's not about going out there working harder than the next person or everybody works hard. Everybody has talent. This is about finishing. This is a mindset. And so everything you do, whether it's in the team meetings, whether it's in reps in the weight room, is finishing through the line. We used to always, I remember when we were training as a team, we would always make sure we finished through the line because we knew that if we implement this mentality now, it's going to serve us down the road.
Yeah, Bush push, of course, helped beat Notre Dame.
That's one way to finish.
That's one way to finish.
That's one way to finish
the line.
By the way, Leinert's going to be signing autographs at the
W is a W, Brady. W is a
Centennial
W.
Mater Day game tonight. Leinert's giving away free autographs tonight. Just want to know.
Will you be there with me, man?
Sure. Rob Stone, Reggie Bush, Urban Meyer, Matt Leinert, Brady Quinn. That's 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, big noon kickoff. Huge show every college football Saturday of the season. Men, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's get to Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
So it was a scary moment for Panthers fans last night after taking a first quarter sack. Cam Newton limped to the sideline and then left the stadium in a walking boot. And according to their GM, Cam Newton has a mid-foot sprain in his left foot, and we are cautiously optimistic he will be ready for week 1. Now, you remember he had surgery on his left ankle in March of 2014, so this is already kind of a vulnerable place for him. He didn't get rid of the ball in the play.